Alright, so it's been a little while since I've done a video, but I updated the subwoofer in my system, and I put this NVX12 with a slot port. God, it sounds so much better once I broke it in. And I also took the smaller 6.5 mid-bass box out of the middle back here, and I just now have this. I got it turned up so you can see it. It's down firing the way I have it set up. That's what these little feet are. Infinity Reference 8. That hits like, it's a subwoofer, but it hits like, what do I got it crossed over at? It's like 40 to like 300. So there's a bit of an overlap with the one in the back and this one up here in the middle. And I know they say don't run two different size subs, and you know, that's just really for one enclosure, you know, and on the same amp. These are on two completely separate amps, two completely separate enclosures, two completely separate parts of the vehicle, because this is a really big car. What was happening with just the sub in the back was it wasn't enough. It wasn't traveling all the way up to the front as good. I mean, it was good for the people in the back, but for me up here, I needed something a little bit to bring it up here a little bit more, and man, that did it. So I got it sounding really good now. I've got the tweeters on the dash that I'm still thinking about changing. I don't know yet. They sound pretty good. They look kind of goofy though. And then I got the 6x8s in the factory locations in the door and the rear pillars. And then to bring, like I said in the other video, to bring some of the imaging up, I have these speakers here on the A pillars. I mean, they look all right like that, I think. I mean, and they definitely bring the sound up front. You know, it's, if you turn them off, you notice the difference. So, I mean, I think that's probably pretty much it as far as what I'm going to do with this vehicle. I'm actually thinking about maybe getting another one, getting rid of this van and getting a different vehicle sometime around February or March. And then I'll have to start to build all over again. I mean, obviously, I'll take most of this stuff out, if not all of it. I still have all the stock stuff that I can return back to its locations and make it look like I never really did anything to it at all. It'll be completely returned to stock with the CD player in the dash and all of that. And I mean, I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. I mean, it's by no means like super custom professional grade, but for, you know, homemade, do it yourself, I'm happy with it. I mean, I think it sounds good. I think it looks decent. I mean, trust me, I've seen far worse. I've had far worse. I've done far worse. But you know, this started out as just a sheer boredom budget build, man. Like I was wanting to upgrade the speakers in the door and the rear pillars and in the factory locations, and and I'm a bass head from way back. I've had systems in plenty of cars when I was younger and into my 20s, and even a couple cars ago I had a pretty decent system. But my priorities kind of got a little bit more towards the family, and I really wasn't worrying about it. But I mean, it's always been a hobby and an interest of mine. It just, I really haven't had the extra money for it. And I decided that I was just going to upgrade the speakers, and that just started the bug all over again, because I put them in and they didn't have enough power, and I knew what they could do once I put the right power to them. And I mean, like I said, really it started out with me just trying to upgrade the factory speakers, and then I wanted to add a decent Bluetooth or auxiliary hookup to the stock stereo. Well, it was like when I was looking at these things, because the stock stereo in this Ford, it's like the same that's in a lot of Fords. It's in Ford 500s, Ford Freestars, Ford Freestyles, Ford F-150s. It's in like a bunch of different Fords. It's the double din Ford CD player. Some of them have a 6-disc. Some of them even have a tape deck in it, but I just had the regular single disc CD double din head unit. And then when I hooked up the Scar 6x8s that I bought, it just wasn't doing them justice. It sounded crappy. And then when I looked up what I needed to do to hook up an auxiliary input on the back into the CD changer input, one of those CD changer input things to add auxiliary input to the stock stereo is as much as an amp or a decent aftermarket head unit that already has Bluetooth and friggin' auxiliary input and stuff already in it. So it was like really kind of dumb. But I had the little FM transmitter thing, and that sounded like crap. And I just, the big thing that changed it was when I put the speakers in, and they weren't getting enough power. That just kick-started it. So I bought a small sub and an amp. I put an amp to the speakers, and the rear channel, I bridged them to the sub, and I put I hooked the tablet in and took the head unit out. And it sounded really good. I was pretty happy with it and everything, but I wound up blowing the amp because I was stressing the amp out big time. It was just a 4-channel MB Cord amp that I was running at 2 ohm off the rear channels that it was only rated for 4 ohm. And I wound up blowing the amp. So, and I didn't have enough bass, and it just kind of snowballed. So I just kept looking on eBay and Craigslist, and I found stuff that I liked at a pretty decent price. And and I built this tablet holder just out of stupid little wood that I bought from Home Depot and glue. And and I've showed these before. I got the Kenwood amp under the cup holder. It's all the way down here. And then I have the Jensen Power 1050 that runs like 500 watts RMS. And then I got the Jensen Power 400.2 that runs like 100 a channel RMS at 2 ohm, which is what I got it running. But yeah, it sounds pretty good, so I'll bump it real quick. And not like you're going to be able to tell through the... Alright, here we go.